morning, guys and gals. Mr. Herr here on this cool Tuesday morning. Hopefully everybody's healthy, wealthy, and wise on your end. Today we're going to continue to talk about mortgages. Um, Yesterday we were talking about interest rates, points, flat fees, and comparison rates. Today we're going to kind of move forward with the mortgage process and determine how much monthly payment you could afford, and then extrapolate that to figure out how much the loan you could afford would be. You really want to be cognizant of that when that time in your life comes around, because banks or loan offices will often pre-approve you for a higher amount than experts would say you should be paying. If you're saying, why do they do that, Mr. Herr? Because they're in the business, to make money, and by doing so, by giving big loans, they make more money. So that's why they would do that. At any rate, we'll knock out a few problems in the notes. The first two problems go real quick, and they're pretty simple. The last two are a little more involved, so you still want to be tuned in come that point in the video. And then you have 4 questions on your PDF. All right, let's do this thing. Sorry about the screen. You guys know how it is. It's the perfect time to grab a pencil or a piece of paper and follow along. Some general overviews here. To find the maximum house payment. Notice maximum, and we would talk about this a lot more if we were face to face, but you don't have to spend maximum. It's tempting because a maximum house value that probably is either a little bit bigger or a little nicer or a little newer. But always be careful about that word maximum when it comes to your spending. All right. Hey, and this isn't a me thing. I researched this. This is just a useful rule of thumb. All right. Figure out your monthly bills and subtract that from your gross monthly income, aka what you're making before taxes. Okay. And then multiply that new amount by 36%. That should be the maximum house payment. Okay. So if you're saying, well, Mr. Herr, what are you talking about? Let's jump in here. Suppose your monthly income is $3,500. Current monthly payments on loans is $290. What's the maximum amount you should plan to spend on a house payment? So take your gross income, $3,500, subtract your current loan payments. Okay. So we're looking at $3,210 left over. Take that amount of $3,210, aka the money that you have available to spend, and multiply that by 36%. But if you're saying, well, Mr. Herr, 36% as a decimal is 0.36, I agree. This 36% isn't going to change at all. It's going to be sort of the standard for what we use here. That means you could have a maximum monthly payment of $1,155.60 for your mortgage. All right. Let's just do one more like that. We won't do a whole lot, but one more just to make sure we're not nuts. Suppose your monthly income is $2,700. Current monthly payments on loans is $490. What's the max amount? Okay, $2,700. Subtract the current loans. Okay, so then we're looking at $2,210 is what's available to spend. Take that $2,210 and multiply it by 36%, or in our case, 0.36. Sure enough, you end up with a mortgage payment of $795.60. Just to give it perspective, are there mortgages that are this low per month? Yes, but it's going to be really hard to find that. So that might be a scenario where, given these parameters, maybe you rent for a little while, maybe you live at home for a little while. You know what I mean? Okay. Hey, hopefully that's not too bad, but this is the easier of the two ideologies. Let's keep rolling here. Okay. To find a maximum loan amount, you take your monthly payment you can afford divided by the table entry, and don't worry, I'll go over how to read this. And yes, this is provided on your PDF homework, times 1,000. That's how you find your maximum loan. Okay? So let's read our scenario. Suppose your maximum house payment you can afford is $1,155.60 per month. Hey, that was from the front. What is the maximum loan you should seek if you will finance your purchase with a 4.5% 30-year loan? Okay, so we're going to take our maximum monthly, which is $1,155.60, divided by our table entry, and I'll show you how to do that in a moment, times 1,000. So if you're saying, well, Mr. Herr, how do we find this table entry? 4.5% 30 years. Over here it says interest rate, so I'm going to go down to 4.5%, 4.500. And then we have our term length, 15 year, 20 year, 30 year, right there. Where the chart meets, 4.5, 30 years, 5.07. That's what we're going to divide by in this scenario. Then, at the risk of sounding silly, we just run the math. Sure enough, and give me one moment to type, we end up with a maximum loan of $227 or $227,928.99. Okay. Now, once again, that's maximum. You're stretching your budget as thin as possible, which, as an adult, I would never recommend that. Just throwing it out there, but that's what we're talking about here. Let's do one more of these scenarios, then we're good to go. Suppose your maximum house payment you can afford is $1,250 per month. What is the max loan you should seek if you will finance your purchase with a 5.5% 15-year loan? Okay, so we have our max monthly payment, $1,250. We're going to divide that by our table value, and then we'll multiply by 1,000, whatever that is. Okay, 5.5 15-year loan. Let's jump up here. Interest rate, 5.5 for a 15-year loan. Okay, right here, 15-year term, 5.5. So our table value is 8.17. And if you're saying, Mr. Herr, do the banks really do this? They actually do. Now, they have a computer program that does it for them. We're not going to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on a computer program for this. That's why we have the chart. But we run the math. Sure enough, you end up with a max loan amount. Oh, and that should round to an 8. So sorry. Of $152,998.78. Once again, though, that's a maximum amount. There's, you leave nothing in your budget for going out to eat. You leave nothing in your budget for buying home furnishings. So you never really want to max out your budget when doing that planning. You always want to sort of underkick these numbers. All right. Hey, I hope that makes sense. Enjoy the day, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.